everybody. Hope you guys are well and safe and enjoying your life. Today is a very important lecture I came up with, and I hope you will learn a lot from this. Just before we begin, I would suggest you to please go through my previous videos. I have made 4 videos so far, so you can go through that if you want to learn Pfsense, and I can guarantee that you will learn a lot from there. And if you following that 4 videos, then you will understand this. I would suggest you to follow my Linux series as well on my YouTube channel, and you will get a good experience and good hands-on to the Linux operating system. Okay guys, won't wait much more than this, so we will go straight to jump into the topic. So the topic for today is, of course, the aliases. Alias, what is it? If you Google it, maybe I just took this definition from Google. But if we want to understand, in simple words, you can see that in some computer operating systems and programming languages, an alias is an alternative and a usually easier to understand or more significant name, okay, for a defined data object. So the data object can be defined once, and later a programmer can define one or more equivalent aliases that will also refer to the data object. Now, no need to be break down your nervous, so I'll definitely explain this. So what basically is aliases? You can say alternatively referred to as a, you can say, nickname, or an alias maybe is an alternate name for a computer object, person, group, or user. So this is how we explain the aliases. But we are studying the Pfsense here, so I'll explain you in terms of the Pfsense as well. So what exactly the alias is? So alias, basically is a group of hosts, group of ports, group of IPs. That's how we use the alias here. So alias act as a placeholder for real hosts, and they can be used to minimize the number of the changes and that have to be made if a host or network or port is changed. Okay, so for example, if we are making a rule, for example, we can say we have a computer or a server which cannot be accessed by a particular IP. Okay, so for example, if we want to block an IP, so usually we get this problem when we are using the Pfsense in the corporate environment, and we can see that if a suspicious traffic is accessing the server there, what we would do is that we will block those IPs. Now, if we keep on blocking each and every IP, the list of the rules will be a mountain, to be very honest. So what we will do is we will create an alias, okay, and for example, I create an alias of a malicious IP, and next time if I see that a suspicious traffic hit my server, I don't have to go and add a new rule. I will create an alias, okay, I'll add the IPs in the alias. If I see another malicious IP trying to access my web server, what I'll do is I'll just simply go into the alias and add another IP rather than adding a rule, and that IP will be blocked from the firewall. So that's the basic concept of the alias, and that's why we use it. So, okay, as I wrote it there, the name of the alias can be entered instead of IP. Okay, we can just enter the name of the alias and that's it. Your job is done. Okay, the alias will be resolved according to the list. If a list cannot be resolved, for example, it's deleted, actually what I did here is the mistake. It's actually same. Yeah, it's the one. Okay, so if an alias cannot be resolved, for example, it's deleted, the corresponding element or kind of filter or NAT traffic shaper will be considered invalid or skipped. So for example, if you created an alias and that alias been deleted somehow, that if well, you delete it accidentally, or you whatever reason is, that rules will be skipped, or invalid. So that's a bit of the introduction of the alias, how the alias works. Okay, the next one is the types of alias. So basically we have 4 types of alias. I mean, the 4 types of bases on which we can create the alias. So we can create alias on the hosts. If we know the particular IP address of a server, or IP address of any network, any other machine, we can block, we can give access, we can manipulate as much as we can. The networks, we can also add the network. You want to block or allow whole network. Okay, you can block that as well, based on the ports. For example, we have a database port and we don't want to make it accessible for the web access. We can add those ports and we can block them. So we can add add the aliases on the basis of ports. We can also add the URLs which we don't want somebody. So for example, if somebody is really using the Facebook or Twitter in our company, and we just don't want somebody to go on the Facebook or Twitter or any social media, so we can block those URLs so nobody can visit those. So these kind of things which we can do. The next thing is, you may seen this diagram in my previous videos. So you can see that how my network will be in this tutorial. So you just take a screenshot. You guys will understand it better with the drawing and everything. So just take a screenshot here. Okay, so this is whole is my ISP. Okay, as I mentioned here, I have 2 networks, of course. Public network, which is this and it here, and the private network. Okay, I'm just gonna remove this so you can see the IP. So and the public is 192.168.0.1, and then 192.168.1.0 is the private network. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna manipulate the things on the Pfsense firewall. So if you didn't follow my previous videos, just want to do a couple of things here and just want to show you how the things are gonna work, for example in NAT and in rules. So before you jump into this video, you need to understand the concept of NAT and rules, which I've already made a video, just an overview. Okay, so for example, this is my laptop, and the IP address of this laptop, sorry I just didn't write it, but wow, it's a big one, 92.168.0.115. I think that's the IP of my sorry, just want to make a little, wow, it's on 200, just make it smaller. Okay, yeah, 192.168.0.15. That's the IP address of my laptop on which I'm making this video, and I'm gonna access the Pfsense from here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that I have access from this laptop and through Pfsense, and then I can access this server which is behind my Pfsense. Okay, and can SSH to this. Today the server which I have here is not 120, is 125, just to let you know before we go into it. So yeah, we can SSH to this. Okay, now we want to add the alias and manipulate different things, but this is just an overview of the network, how we making the how we operating in this network. Just want to show you how my machines are set up here. Okay, one thing before we go further is that what is NAT and what is the rules. There are 2 most important concepts in Pfsense firewall if you want to give access or something. When this laptop want to SSH into the Pfsense firewall, Pfsense firewall is already on the they have 2 interfaces. One is on public network and one is a private network. If I want to make this laptop SSH to this server, I have to add an virtual IP here on the Pfsense firewall. Okay, and that virtual IP, for example, will be from the public network. Okay, so in my case is 192.168.0.140, and I will show you as well, very short. I'm gonna do is that 240. Okay, that's the virtual IP which I added here. Okay, and you know, if you following my previous videos, I added the virtual IP here. Okay, I added a NAT rule here that if traffic comes on this IP, if traffic comes on this IP, okay, I set up a rule that it should be directed to this IP. So well, just copy and paste a little bit easier. So I will direct this IP to this one. Now remember that this server is now 125. Okay, sorry, 125. It's not 120, it's 125. So that's what I did. I added a rule, NAT rule, that if traffic comes on 240, direct it to the 125. That's the NAT rule which I added. Okay, the next thing which I added, the rules, the WAN rules. Okay, in the WAN rules I mentioned if any traffic comes on this IP, I will open the ports for them. Okay, so I, for example, added a port number 22 here. I went into the rule, I added the port number 22. Okay, and port number 22. So I said that if traffic comes on this IP, okay, what port should we open? I added port number 22. Okay, so that we can assess it. That's how the NAT and rules working together to make this laptop to be to get access to the server. Okay, so that's a bit of the concept. I hope you understand this, but if you have any question, you can leave it under the comment and I will let you know. Yeah, so that's the basic idea of the alias and NATs and the rules, but I would strongly suggest you to follow up my previous videos. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna access our firewall and let's hit it. Okay guys, as I mentioned, first of all I want to just show you the machine which are connected to my DHCP server. As I mentioned, it's not 120, it's 125 now. Okay, and it's online. You can see that it's active. Okay, we have the terminal here as well. Okay, we can SSH to this and we can, so for example, if I go to this, I am able to SSH to this and we are here. Okay, now just want to show you an overview of the NAT rule which I mentioned before. Okay, so you see that here here if traffic comes on 240, port number 22 SSH should be directed to this IP. Okay, so in the rules, if we go in the rules, and you can see that we have the here, yeah, and we open the 22 port. If you added this rule, you can see that we already passed this. You see that? Pass this. Okay, now aliases. Okay guys, you go to alias. Here we can add on the, okay, just want to delete this one for now. I just want to, oh, it's currently used. Okay, forget about it, we will delete it later. Okay, so we can add on the base of IPs, ports, URLs. This is the all, you can add anything here. So the first thing which I'm gonna do is that I am going to block the access of my laptop. Okay, okay, I am going to block the access on the lab. I have two laptops here. Okay, one is 192.168.0.115. okay, why not I just add a new slide here and just want to say the two laptops. So I have two laptops here. Just want to no, I'll delete this one. Sorry, Sorry guys, I should have done this when I was making this video. Okay, I have two laptops. One is 192.168.0.115 as I mentioned in my previous screenshot, and the second one is 192.168.0.115, and the next laptop which I have, the second one is 192.168.0.52. okay, so I have two laptops here, and I'm going to add the IPs for that. I'm going to add just to keep everything in records. So IPs, and I should have added it before, but it's okay. 192.168.0.115. Just to confirm here as well, if I open a new tab, if config and grab fire192, yeah, this is 115. I'll tell you shortly that why I need that, because I need to show you how we block the access and everything. And the next one is we have the 52. Okay guys, so these are two laptops at the moment. These both laptops can access, okay, both laptops can access the web server. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that, as you can see that I am already SSH to this, you can see that I can exit, and you can see that it's there. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to add alias here. I'm gonna give him name bad IPs. Bad IPs, yeah, we have it here, and we can do is, for example, anything, restricted IPs. Okay, host. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 192.168.0.115. Sorry, 15, and I saved it. I can apply the changes. Okay, just want to add something here. You can see that restricted, and I can save this here. Yeah, and that IP is saved now. Now the next thing which I'm gonna do is that I'm going to add a rule here. You can see that at the moment we have, if we added this rule, okay, and it's saying the source, any source can access that. Just give me a second. So any source here, sorry, can access SSH access, or can access this IP on port number 22. For that, what we will do is that we will instead of the any, we can do the alias, which is bad IPs here. You can see that, and can save this. Okay, I'm gonna apply the changes here, and I want to try to access it again. Oh, it's still accessible. Let me see why. Sorry, yes, I did that. I have to block this, not reject this. So just want to see that I have to block this IP. I'll save this. Okay, if I apply the changes here, and now if you access it, you will not be able to SSH into it. See that? So now we are not able to access this virtual machine because we blocked that IP. Okay, now we can do something. If we want anyone access this, but not the other IPs, we can do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna copy this rule, just don't have to make it again, and I'll make it any, and I wanna pass this. I'm gonna save this. Okay, I will apply these changes. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to move on my other laptop. Okay, and you will see that how I'm going to make the things, how I'm going to access that. Okay, now you can see on my other laptop here. First of all, just want to show you the IP address of this, and if we got this 192, you can see that this is 115. Okay, this is not the 100. This is, sorry, it's this IP is 192.168.0.52. It's not 115 there. So if we do the SSH to 192.168.240, you see that we are able to access here, and the reason is that you can see that we are in. The reason is that that IP is not blocked here. Okay, that IP is allowed here, and the rule, we come back to the previous laptop here, the first laptop. So you can see the rule here is that the bad IPs, you see that this will be blocked. You can see that, but any other IP, you can see static mean any other IP from any port can access this, but not the bad IPs. In bad IPs, you can see that we have this one. So see, we don't have access to the bad IPs. So the rules, as I mentioned, will start from the top to bottom. The rules come first to this rule, and we'll see, okay, this is blocked, that's fine, it will implement it, and then the next rule will come. Okay, so we have to make sure that we block the, like for you, like you guys, I am still learning the Pfsense, very big thing, but just want to see this one. Yeah, still there. Okay, so that's the aliases working, guys. That's how we are working. And if we want to block some other IP which we don't want someone to access our IP or server here, we simply go there, we edit this, and we add another host here. See that we add another host there, and you can block this. Okay, so if we go back to the rules, and if we want to remove the bad IP there we go. I remove the bad IP rule from here, and now if I do this, and you can see that I am able to access my web server here. Yeah, just, oh sorry, caps lock was on. Yeah, you see that I'm able to access into it. So that's how, guys, we can work on it. That's how we usually do the things. We can manipulate the aliases. Okay, I hope you like this lecture. If you like this lecture, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button as well. That's highly appreciated. And thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in next video. And please don't forget to share this with your friends, whoever wants to learn the Pfsense. And if you have any questions, please leave the comment down below. Thank you very much, guys, and take care of yourself and the people around you, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye.